They all claim to be professional amateurs, but they're really all federal informants.
Well, this isn't a total loss. We've been grooming Raylan for a special detachment to our FBI stud force for wife-pleasing. With you on the team, we can sheep dip you into the upcoming Swingers Mafia convention at Versailles, Kentucky. We've wired all the rooms for sound and video and POV. We just need you to switch the bowl of keys so that all the keys go to your room. All of the targets in Operation Devil's Triangle are robber barons who are going to use the state's largest and oldest orgy to remove all their property from the reach of the federal government. And we've got lots of plans for that don't involve toxic waste, dogfighting, or casinos.
Agent, you're not saying I have to do all my business again with people watching, are you?
Raylan, as God is my witness, I'm going to make sure every member of the Lexington office watches you until our friends at the FBI and every single wife is fully satisfied. Your stroke game belongs to Mr. J. Edgar Hoover from now on.
Oh, brother, here we go again.
And scene. All right. This next scene takes place in Win Duffy's famous RV and features Win Duffy, hot wife Casey, and Boyd Crowder. So let's see. Who wants to be Boyd here?
I'll do it.
Okay, you be Boyd?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be Win Duffy, and Felix, why don't you read Casey first?
Ooh,
All
okay,
right.
I can really bite into this role. All right. I told you, Mr. Duffy, I'm already married to Clem. We came into the lifestyle together, and any advantage you hope to gain from this swap will only go to my sweet, stupid Clem.
Well, Mrs. Glump, despite my admiration for a relationship as forward-thinking as yours, there's just a small problem that according to Kentucky's very stringent and specific wife-swapping laws, you invalidated your swinging certificate with your little diversion of our Marshall friend, which would normally be all fine and dandy with me, unless, of course, your little liaison was due to you working with a certain law enforcement agency.
He's probably the most handsome man alive. They call gals like me cougars because when we see something we want, we pounce. Men like you all say they're broad-minded, but at the end of the day, you sit here in your fancy RVs and watch women's tennis to get your rocks off. And it's all about who owns what to you. You can't possess a woman's heart.
Who owns what? Precisely, my dear. In this case, the who being your husband, and the what being a large tract of land the Dixie Mafia would like to build a casino on. And we can't do that until we've officially swapped. And to do that, you need to be married, which is why I have my snake handling friend here to make it official. I assure you that whatever extracurricular activities you're inclined towards have no bearing on my fondness towards you. Or should you decline my generous offer, my extreme not fondness towards you.
That don't make a lick of sense.
Now, normally I'm not given to being loquacious, but if I could offer my services to you, not just an ordained snake handler and universal life church minister, but by way of a verbose explanation of your current predicament vis-a-vis this here shotgun wedding. You see, the folks here in Harlan County have never had much. And what little we did have has always been taken from us by the coal companies and the gun thugs. And if it wasn't them, it was the federal government. All we got is family, you see. And the bond between husband and wife was the most important thing at all until men like my daddy Bo and Arlo Givens were able to take advantage of certain legal loopholes that made it so practices would render not just a marriage, but all the shared property within free from the interference of the government and their heavy-handed taxes and regulations. So you see, you're the fastest filly of the swinging mafia. All the swinging goes through you, and after tomorrow night, we're putting you in the Breeders' Cup. And sweetheart, you're going to race for all of us, and by the end of the night, half the land of the state of Kentucky is going to belong to us.
Can you believe there are folks who call what I do cheating?
Scene. All right.
The interim between this scene and the next scene, there's a classic justified second act double cross. A Kentucky swap is what Boyd thought he was getting into. But Win Duffy, taking advantage of his mobile office, has actually crossed state lines into Tennessee, where there can only be one swap, and they're not both married to her.
And we said the change in Tennessee state wife swapping law was it was a rider attached to a recent anti-CRT public education bill. All right, and now the exciting conclusion of Kentucky Swap, a Justified Story. This is a standoff between Raylan and Clem over wife law at the Versailles wife fucking convention. Matt, why don't you stick to being Clem? Yeah. Tom, you be Raylan. You stick to being Nick, and I'll be the FBI agent.
All right. Oh yeah, and a little texture for this scene. At the wife swapping convention, the biggest one in America and the world, Michael Rappaport is back in Justified. He's not playing a crow. He's playing himself. The entertainment for the wife swapping convention is him performing a one-man show about the 5 pillars of hip-hop. Just a little texture.
I would like to see that.
They're going to be good.
All right.
God damn it! You take everything from me. First my hog waste, my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, then my beautiful hot wife. But this ain't over, Marshall. I know you're quick on the draw, but are you quick enough to make Casey come before I raise this gun and pull the trigger?
Raylan looks at Casey and tips his big cowboy hat.
Ma'am?
Casey climaxes immediately from how hot Raylan is and how... and Raylan shoots Clem's gun out of his hand.
You bastard!
Can I give you a little friendly advice? If you wake up in the morning and you lick someone's asshole, you eat ass. If you spend all day licking asshole after asshole, sometimes your breath's gonna smell like shit.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Does this kind of thing ever actually work for you?
There's Kentucky swap law and there's Marshall's law, and I've killed at least 60 people in the line of duty. And at least half of them were justified. And I still have a job, so you tell me.
Fair enough.
Okay. Enough of this. Operations Devil's Triangle has been a great success. Raylan, on behalf of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, I want to thank you for your exceptional stud work.
Not so fast, Agent Smith.
My name is Menaker, Agent Robert Daniel Menaker.
Whatever. Before you Hoover boys get too excited, I'll have you know I protected your witness and pleased all the wives, but my gun never went off.
Wait. You mean to tell me you never came even once?
Raylan, this may be the first time you've ever exercised trigger discipline.
My duty as a U.S. Marshal has been fulfilled, but Agent Smith, your plans to turn Harlan County into an FBI state to entrap the mentally ill and unstable and train them to be domestic terrorists is going to have to wait till the next election at least, because according to Kentucky wife law, none of these swaps counted.
But someone must have busted.
I had a CI take care of that for me.
Enter Dewey Crow.
Raylan, I did like you said and put my gravy where you said. Can I go home now?
So, you mean to tell me that Dewey Crow is now the single largest landowner in the state of Kentucky?
Hot damn, this is the best day of my life. I'm building a gazebo.
That was Justified a Kentucky Swap. But before we go, we gotta let our boy Walton have the last word tonight. Let's cue it up.
Raylan, why, you know, as a pastor, I respect the bonds of holy matrimony, but as a man, the institution's got more leaks than a wooden submarine. Now, certain forward-thinking men, like your pappy and mine, figured out a way for everyone to win, excepting for certain members of federal law enforcement, like yourself. Now, see, I've dealt with these wife fuckers before. And let me tell you, for the rich man, it's not about what you have. It's about what you give away.
The Walton Goggins. That was Kentucky Swap. All right, before we go, Amber, can we bring our boy Boris out here? All right, that's a real showstopper right now. Let's bring him out.
The real Win Duffy.
Yes. There he is.
Look at him.
Boris.
funny?
Yeah. Look how sweet he is.
Basement East,
my God.
Nashville. You guys have been awesome tonight. Thank you, Terrence and Tom, for the Trillbillies for hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Atlanta, Georgia. Before we close out the show tonight, I hope you won't mind if I get a little personal for a second. And, there is nothing more personal than the circumstances surrounding one's birth. Now, a long-time listener to the show, you may know this already, but like I said, this is only my second time in the city of Atlanta. The first time was 38 years ago when I was born. Would you believe it? I am Southern by the grace of God. But a Yankee by every relevant life experience that happened after that. In fact, I'm announcing here tonight, Will Menaker has been a 38-year-long sociological study by Harvard University to test the limits of nature versus nurture. No, Atlanta, Georgia, I was adopted at birth, and Atlanta was my birth city. I know absolutely nothing about my biological parents or if there are any biological relatives out there. So I was hoping you could help me with this tonight. If you check under your seat, everyone should have a Q-tip and a small plastic beaker. Now, I want you to swab your mouth with this. Okay, what's that? Okay, I'm hearing now that the venue did not go along with that. So, in lieu of a Q-tip, could everyone just spit in a cup or give me a handful of your hair at the end of the show tonight? We'll be signing posters, so just please provide me with some DNA. I'll put it all in the Chapo Vitamix, stir it up, and we'll figure out if any of you guys are my biological relatives.
Well, there is a biological phenomenon where the true mother of a child will always be able to breastfeed her son. And if you were one of the 12 women in the audience,
so yeah, this is something of a homecoming for me tonight, and I thought I would close out the show tonight by reading a letter that I've composed to my biological mother and biological parents, and it's your job tonight to pass along this message to any women you may know who gave a kid up for adoption in August of 1983, or anyone around my age or around your age who looks like me, funny, talented, handsome, things like that.
giant head.
You're really narrowing it down here in the Georgia area. All right, so this is my letter to my biological parents. Dear biological parents, all I know about the discrete phenomena of my birth was that it took place in Atlanta, Georgia in August of 1983. That's it. I never looked further into it. I have no idea who you are or the specific circumstances that led to me being alive, though I can probably guess. I'm not sure how other adopted kids feel about this, but I've never lifted a finger to make any effort to find out. This is partly out of fear, but mostly out of laziness. And rather than hire a private detective, I figured I would use the opportunity provided by my fairly successful podcast to reach out to you across these years and check in on how you've been doing. And also to let you know what's up with me. And also I'm getting to a certain age where I'm starting to wonder if I will need a kidney or bone marrow at some point. So let's start this process now. I've been to the airport before, but let's be honest, that doesn't count. The fact is, this is the first time I've been back to the city of my birth. Here is the scene of the crime, and I'm returning to interview the witnesses. The truth is that being born in America in the latter half of the 20th century is like hitting the Powerball lotto jackpot of being alive. And I managed to achieve that and then doubled down by winning a second lottery for lottery winners. Sometimes I feel so lucky, I worry I'm going to come down with Lou Gehrig's disease or something new and rare that they name after me. It sort of feels like people shouldn't be able to escape their fate that easily, but here's the truth of it. I've had a great life, and you are the one who made it all possible. Your identity and my heritage are not things that I've ever obsessed about throughout my life. I hope you won't take it as an insult, but I know who my parents are. They are the parents who raised me from birth. But I do admit to an ambient curiosity. If I had been raised in a Dickensian workhouse instead of the Upper West Side of Manhattan, I might have more issues about this topic or be just a little bit bitter. However, now that I'm back in town all these years later, I want to thank you. And by you, I mostly mean the woman in this equation, but hey, also most likely the teenage asshole who knocked you up. But it was you, the woman who gave birth to me, who deserves my thanks and admiration, because you made the most important decision that anyone has ever made on my behalf. You were the one who made the choice to give me the best life possible, one in which I can now return a conquering hero to the city I was born in. But more than anything, I want to thank you for things that my parents can claim absolutely no credit for. The things that really count. Namely the fact that I'm pushing 40 and my hairline will just not quit. I also have
big deal.
I also have great teeth and have never had a cavity. And I've also been repeatedly assured I have a normal-sized penis. So, to you, the woman who made it all possible, I want to say thank you. And to the audience, please pass along this message to anyone who it may be relevant to. Atlanta, Georgia, it's good to be home. We are Chapo Trap House. Good night, everybody.